This is why you need to know about Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, who served 2 terms from 1953 to 1961. His presidency defined an era marked by significant events both domestically and internationally. Often referred to as the Eisenhower Era, his leadership coincided with the height of the Cold War. Domestically, he faced issues such as racial segregation, McCarthyism, and the burgeoning civil rights movement. Despite these challenges, Eisenhower's presidency is often remembered as a time of peace and prosperity for the United States. His leadership style was characterized by a calm demeanor, a commitment to consensus building, and a focus on pragmatism over ideology. Eisenhower's presidency also saw significant advancements in infrastructure, technology, and social welfare, laying the groundwork for future progress. Welcome to Enchanting Lore, your go-to channel for captivating historical journeys. Stay tuned for more. I'm sure you've heard the news. Eisenhower's journey to the presidency was rooted in his distinguished military career. His leadership during World War II, especially as the supreme Allied commander in Europe, earned him widespread admiration and respect. This popularity, coupled with his image as a moderate and unifying figure, made him an appealing candidate for both the Republican and Democratic parties. In 1952, Eisenhower accepted the Republican nomination for president, choosing Senator Richard Nixon as his running mate. His campaign focused on themes of peace, prosperity, and ending the Korean War. Eisenhower's landslide victory over Democratic nominee Adlai Stevenson marked a significant turning point in American politics. His presidency signaled a shift away from the New Deal liberalism of Franklin D. Roosevelt and Harry S. Truman. Instead, it embraced a more moderate form of conservatism that emphasized fiscal responsibility, limited government intervention, and a strong national defense. Eisenhower's rise to the presidency showcased his ability to appeal to a broad spectrum of the American electorate. Eisenhower's presidency marked a significant shift in American politics, introducing modern republicanism. This approach sought to bridge the gap between the liberal Democrats and the conservative wing of the Republican Party. Eisenhower advocated for a balanced approach to governance, emphasizing fiscal responsibility while recognizing the need for essential social programs. He continued and expanded several New Deal initiatives, including Social Security, while also championing major infrastructure projects like the Interstate Highway System. His moderate stance allowed him to work effectively with both Democrats and Republicans in Congress, fostering a spirit of bipartisanship. Despite opposition from conservative Republicans, Eisenhower's pragmatic approach to governance helped shape a more moderate political landscape. Without Eisenhower's influence, today's American politics might lack the foundation of bipartisanship that he established. His presidency demonstrated that a balanced approach could successfully navigate the complexities of American politics, influencing modern governance to this day. I don't think people understand the true impact of the Cold War on Eisenhower's presidency. The Cold War loomed large over Eisenhower's presidency, shaping his foreign policy decisions. The threat of nuclear war with the Soviet Union was a constant concern. Eisenhower adopted a policy of containment, seeking to limit the spread of communism while avoiding direct military conflict. He believed in maintaining a strong national defense and invested heavily in the military, developing a nuclear arsenal as a deterrent against Soviet aggression. Eisenhower's New Look policy emphasized reliance on nuclear weapons as a cost-effective means of deterring Soviet expansionism. He also authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations to undermine communist governments and influence events in strategically important regions. Despite these efforts, the Cold War remained a defining feature of Eisenhower's presidency, shaping his legacy and influencing the course of international relations for decades to come. Covert operations and international interventions. While Eisenhower sought to avoid direct military confrontations with the Soviet Union, his administration engaged in numerous covert operations and interventions. The CIA, under Eisenhower's direction, played a significant role in these actions, often working behind the scenes to influence events in strategically important regions. One of the most notable examples was the 1953 Iranian coup d'etat. The CIA orchestrated the overthrow of democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh, who had nationalized Iran's oil industry. Eisenhower's administration also intervened in Guatemala in 1954, backing a coup that ousted the democratically elected President Jacobo Arbenz Guzman. These covert operations, while often successful in achieving their immediate objectives, had long-term consequences, contributing to instability in the affected regions and fueling anti-American sentiment. How did Eisenhower's domestic policies pave the way for national progress? Domestic policy and national progress. Beyond the shadow of the Cold War, Eisenhower's domestic agenda focused on promoting economic growth and expanding social welfare programs. He believed in a balanced approach to governance, seeking to limit the role of the federal government while also recognizing the need for government intervention in certain areas. Eisenhower's administration oversaw a period of economic prosperity. Low unemployment, low inflation, and a rising standard of living characterized his time in office. He expanded Social Security, increased the minimum wage, and supported the construction of affordable housing initiatives aimed at improving the lives of ordinary citizens. One of his most enduring legacies is the Interstate Highway System, which transformed American transportation and commerce. Eisenhower's approach to development teaches us the importance of balanced governance and strategic investments in infrastructure and social welfare for long-term national progress. The 1950s, an era of transformation. The 1950s, under Eisenhower's leadership, witnessed a period of profound transformation in American society, culture, and technology. The post-World War II economic boom led to a rising standard of living for many Americans, fueling the growth of suburbs, consumerism, and a burgeoning middle class. New technologies such as television, transistors, and computers began to reshape American life. The launch of Sputnik in 1957 sparked the space race and a renewed emphasis on science and education. Culturally, the 1950s were a time of both conformity and rebellion. With the rise of rock and roll music, the Beat Generation, and the growing civil rights movement challenging traditional values and norms. Eisenhower's presidency, with its emphasis on stability, moderation, and a return to traditional values, reflected both the aspirations and anxieties of this transformative decade. I bet you didn't know how Eisenhower's economic policies shaped America's prosperity. Eisenhower's economic policies were grounded in his belief in fiscal responsibility. He aimed to balance the federal budget and reduce the national debt. His administration achieved budget surpluses in several years, a testament to his commitment to sound financial management. Under Eisenhower, the American economy experienced significant growth. The post-war boom continued with low unemployment and rising incomes. Eisenhower's policies supported this growth, including investments in infrastructure such as the Interstate Highway System, which facilitated commerce and mobility. Eisenhower also recognized the importance of social welfare programs, expanding Social Security and increasing the minimum wage. Civil rights actions and challenges. Eisenhower's presidency occurred during a critical period in the civil rights movement. One of the biggest challenges he faced was enforcing desegregation, exemplified by sending federal troops to Little Rock Central High School in 1957. Another significant challenge was passing the Civil Rights Act of 1957, the first major civil rights legislation since Reconstruction. The act aimed to protect the voting rights of African Americans, but its impact was limited due to weak enforcement mechanisms. Eisenhower faced criticism for not doing more to advance civil rights, highlighting the societal and political resistance of the time. Despite these challenges, his actions laid the groundwork for future civil rights advancements, influencing today's movements. Eisenhower's civil rights actions reflected both his commitment to the rule of law and the limitations of his presidency, shaping the ongoing struggle for equality. Enduring legacy and historical perspective. Eisenhower's presidency, initially viewed by some historians as a period of passivity, has undergone significant reassessment. Historians now recognize his skillful management of the Cold War, his handling of domestic challenges, and his role in laying the groundwork for future progress. His warnings about the dangers of the military-industrial complex in his farewell address have proven remarkably prescient. This caution about excessive military spending and the influence of the defense industry resonates with contemporary concerns. Eisenhower's legacy is also evident in the Interstate Highway System, a testament to his vision and commitment to infrastructure investment. Ultimately, Eisenhower's presidency is remembered as a time of peace, prosperity, and steady leadership, a period when the United States navigated a turbulent world with a sense of purpose and resolve. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts on Eisenhower's legacy. And don't forget to suggest new topics for our future videos.